Tory Burch versus Michael Kors. Which handbag brand is better? Hello everyone, welcome back to another mommy review where I review all things for the love of. Today I'm checking out Tory Burch versus Michael Kors. Which brand is better? Now before I get started, if you like the content on this channel, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for considering, and on with the video. Tory Burch and Michael Kors are both American brands that carry a large variety of handbags, including tote bags, travel bags, crossbody bags. So they do have a lot going for both of the brands. They are both considered more affordable luxury handbag brands, are more lifestyle brands, and both of them participate in sales, unlike some of those top tier luxury brands like Louis Vuitton that maintain its exclusivity and just never have sales. I think that both Tory Burch and Michael Kors are two of the more affordable mid-range luxury brands to consider if you're looking to get a piece to kind of figure out if you like the style, or if you're looking for something that's really on trend as well. So for today, I'm going to be going over the key differences between Tory Burch and Michael Kors. To start off, I'll go over the history, I'll talk a little bit about the style, the difference in target audience, the quality, the pricing, resale value, and then come to the final conclusion. Tory Burch versus Michael Kors. Which brand is better and which brand should you buy from? So let's get started. To start off, both Tory Burch and Michael Kors originate in the United States. I think for Tory Burch, without a doubt, their biggest sales are probably their bag collection. They have like handbags, purses, top handle, totes, and such. Whereas I think Michael Kors has a more larger array of accessory and clothing, and they don't really hinge as much on the handbag market. So with that said, I'm really going to focus on handbags because that is where my true love is. So I'm going to focus on handbags between these two brands. Starting off with history. So Tory Burch is considered quite a new luxury handbag brand company, although I do find that its popularity has grown quite quickly within a short amount of time, and is one of the top competitors up there for mid-range luxury. Tory Burch was founded in February 2004 by its founder, entrepreneur, designer Tory Burch, whereas Michael Kors first started the brand much earlier in 1981 when he launched his first collection of handbags for women. So let's talk about the style. Tory Burch is known for their T logo medallion that's like a permanent fixture in like so much of their collection. And one of the things you'll notice that is Tory Burch really focused on bold colors and prints, homage to like a Moroccan style, fashion styles of the 60s and 70s. They use like a lot of multi-texture colors, as well as incorporating their double T logo into a very well stylized and very elegant look, a little bit of like a retro feel as well. So overall, I feel like Tory Burch designs are derived from a lot of like travel and discovery and these bold graphics. She says a lot of it is inspired by her love for arts, music, and culture and travel. Very like all American preppy, I would say. And like I mentioned, their unique T logo is inspired by the geometry of the Moroccan architecture, and I thought that was really interesting to see. So for the style for Michael Kors, I find that their product's a little bit more modern American. It's usually a little bit more cleaner lines. Some are sporty, very cool. Although I know that there are some controversies with a lot of the Michael Kors design. There's criticism that some of the designs are just not as original. They really derive similarities from a lot of other luxury brands like Louis Vuitton, Celine, or like Valentino. I do find that out of the Michael Kors handbags, I like ones that are a little bit more minimalistic because they're more popular among like young professionals that are great to use for the office. But overall, I would say that the Michael Kors aesthetic is like not as romantic and bohemian as Tory Burch. It's a little bit more sophisticated and like a lot of classic handbags, not too complicated, and like they focus on clean lines, and they of course have their signature MK logo on it. And overall, I find that the styles are just very different between the two different brands. Next, I want to talk about pricing. Now, on average, I would say the starting price for handbags between Tory Burch and Michael Kors are pretty similar. I mean, looking at Tory Burch handbags, the starting price for some of the smaller handbags are around over $100, upwards to $1,500 to $2,000. Whereas for Michael Kors, it also starts around $150 for starting price, upwards to around $3,000, and for some special limited edition styles, they go up to like $6,000. So I think all in all, they're casual luxury handbags from Tory Burch and also Michael Kors. The average price range is somewhere between $150 to around $600. But I would say handbag collection as a whole, Michael Kors have more expensive handbag options compared to Tory Burch. Next, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about target audience. Michael Kors tends to be targeting more mature audience, I would say, compared to Tory Burch. It kind of goes hand in hand with like the styles of handbags that I've talked about before, where I feel a lot of Tory Burch handbags are trending towards a younger generation, or like people who are working professionals, whereas Michael Kors I think have a much broader audience because it has such clean lines, like simple aesthetics, that it can appeal to a larger audience. This leads nicely to resale value. Even though I find that Michael Kors appeals to a larger audience, I feel like the peak of its popularity was in like the 1990s and like maybe peaked a little bit in 2000, but like definitely Michael Kors handbags are not as popular as they used to be. As a result, I don't think they do as well in the resale market, as opposed to Tory Burch has a resurgence of interest in the secondhand market. I mean, it's pretty easy to see a Tory Burch bag when you're walking down the street downtown. So I think if you're looking for resale value, Tory Burch definitely wins over Michael Kors at this time. Quality. I find that Tory Burch's handbags use a lot of like texture and like scratch resistant leathers. Overall, like because of the fabric and the style and like how colors are very vibrant and there's a lot of pattern, I find that Tory Burch handbags tend to outlast a lot of the Michael Kors handbags. I find that Michael Kors handbags use a lot of wax coating on its bags, which allows the company to use kind of cheaper quality or lower quality leather. With that said, I think with regular use, both of these handbags will show wear and tear pretty easily. So we've gone over a couple of categories. Like in summary, you know that they have very distinct differences in terms of style. Tory Burch is a little bit more on trend, I would say, and a little bit more like romance and like more bohemian vibe, a lot of Moroccan influences. Whereas for Michael Kors, it's definitely more classic, not as romantic, very structured, clean lines. I think that Tory Burch handbags are great for going to work and also for casual use. But I would say the same for Michael Kors. If anything, I think Michael Kors actually works quite well for young professionals as well. One of the minor differences will probably be pricing, but if you're shopping for handbags in the lower or mid price range and nothing like on the top of the price range, it really doesn't make a big difference in terms of choosing Michael Kors or Tory Burch. Like I think the pricing is pretty similar. So which is the better brand, Tory Burch versus Michael Kors? I think ultimately it comes to your style preference. I think that Tory Burch is a little bit more feminine in my standards or my preference. I think the quality it's pretty similar as well. I would say maybe Tory Burch is a little bit better. Although I find that a lot of the fashion houses overall in the last few years are just like not as good as they used to be in terms of quality. I know that Michael Kors has a much longer history compared to Tory Burch, but I find that Tory Burch has just so many variety of handbags, and because they really specialize in the handbag, whereas Michael Kors tend to dabble in a lot of like different accessory and clothing, I find that there are more choices and like more fashion forward items for handbags that you can purchase at Tory Burch. I think it is a very ideal brand for you to pick up something at Tory Burch that is considered affordable and still good quality. However, I think if you're looking for something that is less preppy, more classic, something more simple, I think Michael Kors is definitely something that might appeal to you. I think it really depends on your style preference. That is my final conclusion. Buy the bag that you're gonna wear. I mean, after all, it's worth it if you use it, right? So that is my review of Tory Burch versus Michael Kors. I think based on my personal preference and style, I definitely steer more towards Tory Burch. I love how the feminine aesthetic associated with it, just a much larger selection I find. I personally find that the Tory Burch quality is a little bit better compared to Michael Kors, but at the end of the day, like, I think it really depends on your style preferences. So that's it for today. I would love to hear from you. Are you on team Tory Burch or are you on team Michael Kors? And if you have a choice between each of these brands, is there a specific handbag you would recommend from each of the fashion house? I would love to hear from you. And with that said, thank you so much for joining me on this mommy review, and I'll see you next time. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.